All right, all right. Hey guys. Yo, I got some good news. We got something that's hot. I've been talking about this disrupting in the transportation industry, disrupting urban mobility, talking blockchain, transportation, AI. This thing is hot. Um, it's been about a month or so. Hadn't heard any updates. We hadn't got any new information. So I was talking to the COO, Manny over there. He's over in Dubai, and him and the CEO. He says, "Hey, I know it's been quiet for a little bit. We're supposed to get together, do a video, and talk about the program and everything." He says, "Look, they've been putting in work with BitGet. Um, I forgot the other two, BitGet, MEXC, and I'll show you in a minute. Look, let me get on my computer. Let me get on. This thing is hot, man. Let me get. I just got off the road and I'm coming in the house and I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to tell you all about this. Look, if you want to get in, if you want to get some tokens while they're pre-sale, this is the time to do it. The GFEL, they have the pre-tokens right now. Pre-sale is going on. And it's supposed to have been over November 1st, but they had a delay with the marketing, trying to get the deal done with the two exchanges that they're going to be launching on here pretty soon. And so they said as soon as that's done, they're going to send out some promo information. They're going to go big, and it'll be all over the place. So we want to make sure that if you really, really want to get something hot, get something that's new, get something in pre-sale, talking 2 cents per token. It's going to launch at 6 to 12 cents or more. Look, this thing. Let me get on my computer, man. Y'all need to check this out. Hold on. Oh man, this is great. Let me jump on over here right quick. All right, guys, let's do it. Right. Yep. Oh man, I just got in here, and man, don't even mind that. It's a mess back there. Uh, but that's okay, because I'm gonna pull up this information and I want you to check it out. There's some great stuff happening, man. You just, I'm so excited. I'm so glad he contacted me and let me know that there's some things going on. All right, this is just a quick update video. So we're going to go live here in a second. All right, let me get over here because I want to show you. So I do have, I don't know if you've been in my Telegram group. I have a few groups, but this Telegram group is, like I said, for GovL, talks about the latest developments, things like that. And like I said, we haven't seen a lot of developments, but right now, if you want to connect with me so you can get these updates, then the Telegram group is here. Um, this is in my Telegram group called Passive Income Pros, MST, Multiple Streams Team, right? If you look up Passive Income Pro, then MST, that'll get you here, and then you'll have access to all of this. And where it says coming up, all new, right? This is the hot project that I've been talking about that I've been waiting on, and it is so close. It's about to launch. I'm so excited about that. So this is one of my videos. You can see that I had posted that up a while back. It breaks down everything, gives you a review of everything. A little bit more there. I talked about the company, global. GovL is coming in all these different countries. I mean, it's been out for about a year in pre-launch. Like I said, it's going MEXC, BitGet, and KuCoin. That's the ones right there. There we go. Those are the exchanges that it's going to be launching on. Like I said, they got AI, blockchain, crypto, and it is disrupting an industry that is so prime for this. Oh man, this is so good. Like I said, I'm excited. They did go to that Singapore token 2049. So GovL has partnered with a couple of different organizations and different apps in order to offer something different than what you see out there in a taxi or e-sharing industry. Their actual app is called Next Ride app. You can find it on next-shuttle.com. You can see so much good information about the app. I did a couple of videos about that, so you can check those out. GovL is here to disrupt. They're going to launch as soon as their launch happens. They're launching throughout the Gulf, which is the GCC, and they got about 800 cars that they're going to launch with. And their primary focus is EV cars, all the way to autonomous taxis. That's coming in about 2027. So really, really cool. We're talking about a 6x to 25x profit opportunity when this thing launches. So man, you don't want to miss out on this. Like I said, big get at Mexi and Q corners with the launching on CEO, COO right there. We had a great conversation. That was September and launching soon. There's another one, another video I got out there, 1020x crypto at launch. Tokenized transportation is here. You know about tokenized real estate. Tokenized transportation is on deck. These are RWAs that we have been waiting for. The guy that had introduced me to the program, he always looking out for me. My man Andy over there in Thailand. The COO and CEO, you see him right there at the table with Andy. They did go to Thailand, went to Vietnam, went to Singapore, and went to the Philippines back in October. And so it's real, man. They are making their rounds. So it's great stuff. You can definitely get on board with me and we'll get you set up. Big Cat, like I said, that's one of the exchanges they're going to be launching on. Like I said, major exchange. Notice that we're building GFEL. The wheels are turning. The engines are running. The history is about to be made. This is from Manny, um, one of the COO of the company. All right. So just wanted to throw that out there, let you guys know that, we're cooking with gas. This is happening, man. This is happening. All right, so let's jump over here and give you some insight to the program. I know that's something that a lot of you, have, kind of stayed in touch and, I've given you updates here or there, but let me run back through the little presentation for you so that you can kind of definitely give you an update here, refresh your memory if I will. All right, GFL, bam, so cool. All right, so I'm gonna jump off the screen right quick and I'm gonna go through these slides because they're pretty heavy with information. All right. All right, let's do this. So GovL is the future of transportation and what I call urban mobility or e-sharing, e-hailing, right? So what we know as taxis, then you have the yellow cabs, then you have black cabs, then you have uh, the robo taxis is something that's coming down the road, but it's something that Uber has talked about. They have partnered with um what's that company with the electric cars, Tesla. So Tesla is trying to come up with something. Google, Whamma, and Google has an AI operation that is next level, right? And they are fast becoming a leader in the AI space, and they're partnered with they have Google Maps, right? So they have cars out there, and I think they are the ones behind Whamma. I have to check it out. And they have the cameras and everything. So they have a setup already that they could do autonomous vehicles. So the timing is perfect for what GovL is doing. Even though people are doing all these different things, right? The technology is there. People are, trusting the cars a little bit more. Um, but at the end of the day, GovL wants to provide an option, but they're giving you so many more benefits when you do take a ride with GovL. All right, so GovL is a decentralized electric ride-hailing AI platform that leverages blockchain technology to create transparency and security in the ride-hailing industry. It operates on the GFEL token. Nobody else does this, aiming to revolutionize traditional ride-hailing by connecting riders directly with the drivers, focusing on electric cars. With its Taxi 3.0 vision, like I said, which is coming, GovL empowers both drivers and riders through zero commission fees, unique dynamic pricing, and driver customization options. The driver customization options is phenomenal, right? They're doing, like I said, they're doing things nobody else is doing. That's why I'm right here talking to you about it today. They offer so many benefits for the drivers and for the riders. That's what's cool because they are going to, in 2027, is what the push is for the autonomous vehicles. Right now, they're using electric vehicles, but you still have drivers. You still have people that, that's their livelihood. So they don't want to just take that away. Um, but you'll have with the app, right? That was the first thing that kind of caught my attention was the technology and the different partnerships and the apps that support those partnerships. You're talking about you have the ability to negotiate prices. This is right in the app. What other taxi service does that, right? You can negotiate your price. You can choose what type of vehicles, which, that's pretty common, and work flexible hours by, this is for the drivers can work flexible hours, which is cool, right? Um, the passenger also gets to negotiate that lower price. They sell up to 20% lower than any other taxi out there. You got price flexibility, elimination of middleman profits, all facilitated by the advanced blockchain technology, which is built into the app. New users are incentivized with a sign-up bonus, while long-term users receive economic rewards, fostering a sustainable transportation model. And so, like I said, they have an app and you have a subscription model as well. And if you are using that subscription, then you're going to get additional benefits on top of what you already get with the best pricing. You get the negotiation, and they provide you with vacation information. They provide you with family, features. When you want to protect your family, you don't want to have anything and everything popping up on your, yes, entertainment system. Yes, you heard me right. While you're in your taxi, you get the option of entertainment while you're riding. And they have partnered with HoloRide to provide entertainment while you're in your taxi. And if you've been in the Gulf, if you've been in any of, Saudi Arabia, if you've been in Qatar, if you've been in, definitely in UAE, you're going to be in that taxi for a while. So you might as well enjoy yourself. And that's what GFEL is providing as well. So that's really one of the most important things. Yes, they are looking out for the CO2 emissions, trying to make sure that they don't, obviously affect the climate change issue. They're trying to reduce the carbon footprint. And so that's why EV cars are so central to what they're doing. All right, cool. And so one of the main things that obviously that attracted me was obviously they have a token on blockchain. They got the crypto, so I really like that. So we're talking about the utility token, and that utility token is used as a means of payment. You can use regular fiat or a credit card, or you can use crypto to purchase your subscription or your actual pay for your ride. They offer utility, provide access to service and benefits. When you use the token, you get the additional services and benefits. Various purposes such as payment for the rides, charging. And so if you are uh, um, a a driver and you have an electric vehicle, they're going to have their proprietary uh, charging stations as well. And they have a charging station, which is a separate line item or a separate business model that actual companies can buy into and actually white label and put their branding on the white label, portion of the charging station business. So they have that as well. So this it's just so much great stuff happening with this organization. Um, considered traditional crypto. So the utility token is considered traditional crypto. It's not a security token. So GFEL is the utility token, which anybody can invest in. The GFELX is the security token, which is obviously for the high value investors, but they have to purchase the GFEL in order to purchase the GFELX. And so a lot of that has already basically been taken up. Like I said, they've been out, for about a year marketing this and really talking to prime investors, the local market. They didn't really go outside of that. And so I came in about a year after they had already kind of been doing some of the footwork, but haven't launched yet. And so I'm here on the utility side, whereas the security side is pretty much taken care of. All right. So that's what I'm reaching out to each and everybody is if you want to be, at the beginning of something incredible like this, you have an opportunity, like I said, still to get the GFEL tokens for about 2 cents. So you definitely want to take advantage of that. And I'll show you in my back office, I'll show you the different plans that you can invest in. Like I said, you have the integration of charging stations into their ecosystem. You can white label that and you can use the charging point management system that they have. That's revolutionary, highly advanced, and they have some new technologies in there. But on top of everything, they are riding on the blockchain, which offers the GFEL cryptocurrency as the means of payment, the means of exchange. And so that's where you get additional benefits because when you transact in that GFEL token, then you are looking at a higher value than the US dollar or, real or pesos or whatever. So definitely benefits on top of benefits. So you see the objectives there, the offerings, you have the charging point management features. So this is all based on that part of the business, the charging stations and the charging point management system that they are going to offer. You can white label that if you're a company, if you have a fleet of electric vehicles, and you want to basically incorporate another profit stream into your business, this could be the way to do it. It's pretty cool. Now let's talk about these tokenomics. As you've probably seen on my previous videos, there is a total of 1 billion tokens that they are offering. About 100, 100. Let's see, what's that? 100 million they've already allocated, right? So 100 million allocated for that initial security token private, seed phase. And so as time went on, we got to the private sale. The strategic sale is already out of the way. We got the private sale going on now up until they launch. And then when they launch, they're going to launch the ICO with stage 1, 2, and 3. And then they're going to be able to offer us an opportunity to cash in a portion of those tokens, a percentage per month. And that's going to be obviously information that they're going to decide what that strategy is, because they want to make sure they, have enough liquidity to support that. And so there's going to be stages involved in the launch process. And so if you purchase today, you're going to get them at 2 cents, as you can tell right there. It's 2 cents per token, and you'll have an opportunity to purchase anywhere from $100 worth all the way up to $25,000 worth, or you can purchase multiple packages, right? So let's say you want 1 million tokens. Well, if you do the $15,000 package, or if you do let's say the $10,000 package, then you can mix and match in order to get 600,000 plus another 400,000. You can do that as well. I have people doing that already, so it's very, very cool. I'm just excited because we finally got a little update, and so I said, let me go ahead and put a new video out so everybody know that, hey, if you're standing on the sideline, if you've been waiting to hear more information, hey, where did it go? Rashid, you was excited a month ago. What happened? I'm still excited, baby. This thing is happening and it's rocking and it's about to launch, so don't miss this, baby. November 15th. So we're supposed to be launching between the 1st and the 15th. So I know if you don't have it today, it could be tomorrow, it could be the next day. It's imminent now. So they're not giving me a date. They said, hey, look, we're just trying to finish up, a couple of things. I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna pull up this right quick and I'm gonna read it to you, because I want you to see exactly, I want you to hear exactly what he told me. Doo, 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 doo. 1 second, I'm gonna pull it up. All right, here we go. It says, hey, Rashid, thanks for reaching out. We're working around the clock to satisfy BitGet's demands. So they're working with BitGet. They want to make sure they got everything done. Don't cross all your T's, dot your I's. So they're just finalizing that before the launch. We're preparing something spectacular that will boost the community and increase the level of trust. That's something that and basically says hopefully in a few days. So basically that's something that I talked to them about is putting information out there, being frequent with that information, because we've seen a lot of projects. I'm involved in a couple, because I do diversify. There's other projects that are going on that are real world assets that are great, that are amazing, that's just crushing it. But at the end of the day, I still have people saying, is it real? I still have people, because they have been burnt so many times in this space, they just have legit questions about, trust. Okay, if I put my money in this, am I going to get a return? And so this is why when they sent me that message, it's great, because he used that word. I'm like, that makes sense. Whatever you got to do, do it right, do it legit, and keep your integrity, right? So people can trust you. And that's what wins in this business is trust. You have to do things right. And that's what they're doing right now. They're going to get it right. They get it done right. They're going to follow the process, and then they're going to kick this bad boy off. Now, let's wrap this up. If you do decide that you want to purchase the tokens, you can purchase the tokens. Now, this is a buy and hold. This is what it is, right? This is not network marketing. It's all this multi-level, all that kind of stuff. That's not what they're here for. They're here to run a business, and they have an app, they have physical cars, they have a physical charging station. So this is a real business that they are launching. But they said, hey, look, we want to offer this to the world. So before we come into your community, you have an opportunity to purchase a plan. And if you actually help us spread the word, then no matter if it's one level all the way to 6 levels of people, if you're able to do that, and which they welcome it, they want people because they need help spreading the word because they want to get this information out there, then they will pay you on this particular scale. So the level one, if you invite others to participate, they invest in this particular business, then you're going to earn 10% on, whatever that investment is. Then on the second level, if they invite somebody, you earn 5%. If that person invites somebody that invites somebody, that's 4%, all the way down to 3, 2, and 1. So there are percentages for 6 levels because they want it to be gracious enough to say thank you because you actually are helping them build or build the momentum, build the excitement. You're helping to get the word out. And so when they launch, they're going to be a household name because of you and me, and they're going to make sure that you benefit from that as well. All right. So they're having a launch, like I said, in Dubai. They're going to have incentive trips for top leaders. They're going to provide free tokens for people. And they have so many other surprises that they want to reward everybody that refers as well. So this is exciting. This is what we have. This is something that I want you to come on board with. If you are a leader, if you're somebody that's looking forward, if you know that crypto is being adopted on every corner of the globe, then this right here is something that you don't want to miss. And I appreciate you guys for, just giving me a few minutes of your day and watching this video and understanding that this is something that is revolutionary. And you definitely want to come on board. This is the first of its kind. The first one is disrupting transportation in this way. They're going to be launching a robo taxi, kid taxi. They have so many great things that they're going to be doing. And that crypto is going to rise. And being a person that's holding that crypto, you will benefit greatly from that. All right. So with that being said, let's go up here. I need to show you the back office. Let's go over here. I think I actually have, I think I have the plans. I think I downloaded those so I can show you that real quick. Um, because I'm sure you're kind of curious, kind of like, okay, what do the plans look like? If you want to get involved, there's a roadmap as well I can show you. So let me pull that up real quick. Where did I put it at? It's not right there. That's not it. There's the roadmap. So where is, let's see. All right, give me a minute. It's been a little while. I hadn't been on here. All right, so all right, let's see if I can pull that up for you. All right. Okay, guys. All right, let's go there. All right. So what will happen if you choose, right? If you choose let's say somebody has invited you, somebody said, hey, look, take a look at this video. Rashid is breaking it down. He's showing you what GFEL is the next big thing that you want to get involved with. When somebody contacts me and say, hey man, look, I literally had a call yesterday. I am not joking. I literally had a call from somebody that's been in my community for some time, and they kind of faded away a little bit. We have programs that are more long term, and if you're not making money right up front, then sometimes people, just say, well, I'm only waiting for it to mature. So they fade away. And I have been posting some things on my Facebook page, which I don't normally do, but I did because I'm excited. And they contacted me and says, hey, got some funds and I kind of want to do something. Hey, what do you think about this? And they talked about, some new businesses, some new inventions and, things about AI and things about gold and things about, different cryptos that are behind different programs. Ripple they're behind JP Morgan's stable coin, things like that. And I said, well, you know what? If I had your money right now, I think something like 10,000, I would go for this revolutionary project that's dealing with real world assets. And I said, there's a couple of programs that I would definitely support that are doing real world assets that are legit, that are doing it the right way. And so for me looking at this today and talking to you guys today, I highly recommend something that is cutting edge like this. They're doing things different. Um, and this is not financial advice, this is because I personally am invested in it, then based on my conversations, based on my, information that I get directly from the leadership in the organization, from the CEO and the COO, then this is why I'm saying recommending it because of my personal experience in this business. Not that I'm saying from a professional investment perspective, because I'm not, but I am a personal finance guide, and I can help you with here's some options because I've done it, because I have experience with it. This is what I have gotten from this. If it's knowledge, if it's, return, ROI, if it's APY, I can give you that information because of my personal experience, not because I am a financial advisor or a investment advisor. Okay. So make sure you understand that that's not what I'm doing, but I'm providing it based on my personal experiences. But you can go for the sports luxury. Like I said, a person asked about $10,000. What would they do with it? Kind of want my personal opinion about it. The sports luxury gives you an abundance of tokens, and so you got to think about it like this. If I purchase, let's say I have $10,000 and I purchased this particular sports luxury package, and I get 650,000 tokens because they're 2 cents each, by the way. So 2 cents each gives you that, you know, uh, 500,000. Then they're going to give you this bonus. Okay. So you got this bonus of 150,000. So you got a total of 650,000 tokens. So you're going to kick off, when they launch this thing, then I'm going to give you an example. You have 650,000 tokens at launch, 2 cents each. You pay $10,000, and they basically gave you a extra 150,000. Now, let's say they offer 10%, right, when they launch, because they're not going to allow you all of them, because if everybody cashed in, they don't have the liquidity to do that. That's ridiculous, right? It's a billion tokens out there. So what they're doing is, let's say, I don't know what the exact number is, but let's say it's about 10%. That's kind of the average, 5 to 10%. So if they release 10% because they provide the liquidity to the exchanges and you decide you want to cash out, let's say 10% of that. So 650,000 times 10% is 65,000. So you have 65,000 tokens that you can actually cash in. How much did you pay for these tokens? $10,000, right? So $10,000 for 650,000 tokens. But when it launches, you purchase for 2 cents, it launches at 12 cents. So that's 650,000 times 0.12 equals 7,800. So if they release 10% per month and you paid 10,000, you're going to get this. You can cash out 10%, you get 7,800 right off the bat. Bam, bam. Like, that's crazy, right? But what's the real value of those 650,000 at launch? Because it launches at 12 cents. Then when it starts to circulate, what do you think it's going to do? Hey, we heard about GFEL. We heard about the GFEL token. Hey, I got my subscription. Hey, this thing helped me negotiate a better price. Hey, look, oh my God, let's all of a sudden a year goes by. How much your tokens worth? 650,000 times this is 12 cents. I mean, if you want to do that, I want to give it a round number. Let's say it's 20 cents. Let's say the whole year goes by, you don't pull anything out. What's the value of your tokens at 650,000 times 20 cents? That's $130,000. What is $130,000 on your 10,000? What's the APY on that? I'll show you in a minute. That right there is a 1,300x on your money. Or is it a 1,300%? So 13x or a 1,300% on your money. 1,300% return in 12 months, possible if it only goes to 20 cents per token. I have seen 3 tokens that have launched in the last year. The latest one, a good friend of mine is part of the ownership of that. And he asked me, he said, make sure you get some. And I said, you know what? I'll get a little bit. And so I bought a few. I got them at 50 cents. 50 cent, right? In the first week, that particular token was up, was it $3? It was like maybe about three, four. The second week, it was over $10. The third week, it got up to over, it was almost, it was 20, it was right over 20. So it took about 3 weeks. It got to $20 and about 3 cents. So let's think about that for a second. I got for 50 cents. I have, let's say I got 2,000 tokens, right? I bought more basically. But the what I started with, that's what I had when it first launched. So 2,000 tokens. Those 2,000 tokens in 3 weeks were worth $20 each. Now, they're over 20, they're $20 now, right? So you can understand the return right there. But here's what's crazy. These are launching at 2 cents. The person that called me yesterday was looking for something like this. Will they get involved? Most people will say it and then they won't do anything. Who are you going to be? The person that says, I've been looking for this and jump in? Or are you going to be the person that say, I've been looking for this and I don't know what I'm going to do? You have to make that decision. I'm not here to make that decision. I'm just giving examples of what I've done and what I've experienced. And I'm excited because the great things that I have looked forward to, they are actually coming to fruition. The company that I purchased those tokens from with my partner, like I said, me and him, I've been knowing him for about four, almost, yeah, since 2019. Those literally about 2 years of, just things that were just not working. But they got this thing together. I purchased those tokens, and literally, it's been over a year, and I've gotten that type of return with that particular token because they finally launched because they said they were going to do it. They did it when they said they were going to do it, and now this thing is taking off over $20 in 3 weeks, and I bought them for 50 cents. You see what I'm saying? So if I would have just said, I don't want to do it, I said, oh, I'll buy a little bit. If I was like thinking, I would have bought way more than that. So when it first launched, I did buy more because I saw it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm gonna miss out again. And so now I'm in a better position. But I just want you guys to know that that's just my personal experience. And we all have a Bitcoin story if you're in this space. And every time I listen to different videos and I listen to people talk about, Bitcoin and mining Bitcoin versus buying and holding, I mean, staking, everybody has a different story. But the one thing that's consistent is, and I'm going to tell you a story, and then I'm going to go ahead and bounce off. Um, it's so funny to me that a good friend of mine, he had reached out to me, and he was like, "Look, Coach Rashid, I've been following you for a while. It was a business. I was doing a lot of videos back in the day, and really, great company, 2 years strong. Made seven figures. It was great, right? And then they switched and they had a different business model, and we kind of faded away from that because didn't really like which direction it was going. But the guy kept contacting me because he had gotten involved in something where they were mining Bitcoin. And anyway, good guy. He's from Tanzania. Really good guy, smart in this business, making a lot, doing his thing. Got a lot of great people on his team. So yeah, great guy. So I was listening to, he was doing a presentation the other day. So I listened to the recording, and and this is like I said, a Bitcoin story, right? Everybody got a Bitcoin story. It's crazy. He said that he had gotten Bitcoin back when it was about, I think he said between 50 and $100. He couldn't remember exactly, but it was between 50 and it was no more than 100. But he said he had 300 Bitcoin. He had, done real well in his business, and somebody basically said this is going to do well. And so he just started buying a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. And he says before he knew it, he had over 300, right? And he said that because you can go and you probably know, you can go to a gas station that has a Bitcoin ATM, and now you can just, purchase them right there. And so that was one of the things that he said somebody had put one in, and nobody knew what it was. Everybody was kind of like, what does this machine do? And what's this Bitcoin stuff? He said this is like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And so, Bitcoin go up, go down, go up, go down. But at that time, like he said it was about $100. And he had said, I think he had been buying it for a while. So he could have been buying it, made it started when it was $50 and just kept buying it. And then the latest was 100. Anyway, he had about 300 Bitcoin. That was the story, right? 300 Bitcoin. And he said at some point, it was so volatile that he was like, man, this is not even worth it. He says, over time, why did I buy so much of this stuff, right? And so he basically said he put it, somewhere and just left it. So when you buy at an ATM, right, and or from a person that is servicing your area, because he was in Africa, and he said that had to go to a certain place where they buy it. They give you a receipt, and it's a paper, what they call a paper wallet, and it has the Bitcoin information on there, right? So it's not like the digital thing that we have today with the wallets and stuff. Back then, it was you could go and purchase, and they would give you a receipt. That was the Bitcoin, that was the paper wallet. So that paper wallet was like a receipt, and so you had to keep that. And if you ever want to cash in, you got to bring that back, right? Nobody else has access to it, just you. Anyway, he put it somewhere, and he says, he was doing really well, like I said, with network marketing and his other business, and just really he was well off. And he said at some point he moved and basically didn't think they were really going to do anything. So he hadn't even kept up. He said he wasn't even following Bitcoin because he just didn't think that he said, oh, I think I've lost that. Just he tried to get it because somebody kind of referred him. And, people kept saying, do it, do it, do it. And he was like, okay, I got some money, I got a little extra. And he kept doing it. And at a point he moved and he said he just left all that stuff, right? Left it behind because he just didn't see it growing. He didn't think there was much value to it. Let's fast forward a little bit. Let's say you had 30 Bitcoin, not 300. Let's say you had 30 Bitcoin when it was $50, right? And you held on to it for 10 years because you didn't think anything of it. You just threw it in a corner and you just left it there. Fortunately, you didn't move out of the house. You stayed in that house. And one day somebody says, Bitcoin, MicroStrategy or Galaxy Digital or um, you know, what's that other guy? The Tesla guy. Everybody's buying Bitcoin in the droves, in the billions. And you see this and you're like, oh my gosh, wait a minute. How much is Bitcoin? And Bitcoin is $70,000. And you got 30 of them in a cabinet in your house. I think you would be quite excited. What if you hear that same thing, Bitcoin is $70,000, and you've moved from where you had them and you forgot about them. And now that house, somebody else lives there, they changed everything, they threw everything away. It's gone. You have no Bitcoin because you didn't take it seriously. Do you want to be that person that miss out on the GFEL token at 2 cents per token? Get one of the plans, sit back and relax because I'm going to keep you updated. And when that price continues to grow, you can rest assured I will let you know. All right. That's all I got. And I hope to see you on the other side. Peace. And I'm out. It's good stuff.